so many attempts. The workforce issue is just not being able to sustain it.
School is something that has primary activities between like 8:30 in the morning and 1 p.m. You know, I mean, if we were to start thinking about our schools truly as community centers with a lot of community partners, then a lot of the issues of segmentation actually would go away.
Where's the home where we could nest this type of work, this community approach, as opposed to either being in education or being in childcare or being in family work, but all of the above, and taking a multidisciplinary approach.
But I think we have a real self-confidence problem in the field of the people doing this work. We see this a lot. We saw this, I think, most recently as we began to build some work around a STEM credential. After-school professionals coming to us and saying, you know what, we are just feeling absolutely overwhelmed. There's been a great case made for the importance of STEM learning, but we find ourselves being sort of shut out of the work. Principals think, you know, only teachers can teach STEM. There are many scientists who think they can only share STEM learning experiences.
When it comes to developing the folks that we have, typical to a lot of organizations, even though we are reasonably resourced and quite large, you know, we are still very much in unimodal learning. We know that adult learners need to have coaching and varied opportunities to develop their skills. And in some respects, our tools and processes are outdated. And we're working very diligently to address that. In retention, to that point that Bob was making about the parallels between teachers and club professionals, I think we operate on the extreme. You have some folks that will celebrate their 30th year in a club, and we have some folks that are gone after 2. Those are very serious extremes, and we're talking about consistent service for young people who need it and on a more frequent basis.
The way that the market responds does not allow us to offer people levels of compensation and benefits that would make these attractive fields for them.
Talking about using contracts and grants rather than vouchers, sort of to ensure slots exist in areas where they've had trouble helping them exist, is something that we talk about a lot.
Then, you know, I don't think it then matters whether we have expectations of a BA, because we're going to end up having to pay the person with the bachelor's degree a very, very low wage.
If all you want is for there to be a place and activities for children and youth, then you can get that. But if you want outcomes, whether, you know, the whole way along, continue from health to education, career readiness, and life skills, then we need to invest in a skilled workforce.
I think, again, this has come up a few times, but really doing research to better understand our existing workforce.
They don't have good data. Family child care providers are both early childhood educators as well as school age, and so they don't know how to look at that data or collect it. And I think we need to disaggregate some of that and do a more intentional study and data collection of the workforce. Because I don't think we have good data.
There was a report that came out last year or 2 years ago from this group called IBIS World, which is not a group I even really know, but they said that this industry is like a $22 billion industry, right? And so a $22 billion industry should sort of know itself better. A lot more homework to do, basically, to better understand both the current efforts happening across the country and then to better understand our own workforce and where are people coming into it from, where are they leaving, you know, what's happening on that beltway, basically, at every step along the way.